Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It's me Golding and today I will be reading part 3 of Fae's story. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, I recommend going and checking those out on my channel, but without further ado, I will get started. Fae froze at the voice's call, claws hovering over the shrunken form of her father. She felt her heart pounding as the voice she'd heard the illusion of for the past 7 years called her name again. Pulling herself away from her father, Fae slowly turned around and found herself transfixed by the figure before her. A rainwing silhouetted by golden light looked intently at her, mirroring the mix of emotions Fae felt inside herself. She took a tentative step forward before leaping into the figure's arms. Fae felt a surge of sunlight-like love flood her entire body, and she felt all her anger and anxiety dissipate as the warm, glowing arms of her mother enveloped her. "Mother?" Fae breathed, and a smile went over the rainwing's face. "Yes, dear. My Fae." "How are you here?" Fae asked, getting over the initial shock. "It was my dying wish to see my daughter one last time, and after I created the fireflies, it would seem my soul was tethered to them by my magic somehow. I suppose after the fireflies absorbed what I had made for your father, they had enough power to bring me to this form." "But why didn't you tell me? I could have done this all sooner. I was ashamed. I used almost all my remaining time to set up my revenge on your father. I wanted to see him break like I did." Her eyes flicked over to the Icewing, who was backing away quietly. "But now I see I was wrong to project that onto you." Fae thought for a moment before she squeezed her mother's talons reassuringly. "Don't be sorry. I like who I am, and it was your desires that drove me to stay alive." Fae saw glistening golden tears flood her mother's eyes as she felt her own sprinkle her scales. She realized it wasn't just her tears, but a soft sprinkling of rain had begun to fall, despite it being below freezing. "How?" Fae began, but one look into her mother's eyes told her the answer. Fae closed her eyes and leaned into her mother as the rain fell around them, enveloping them in a glittering mist. As this happened, Fae felt a tugging in her heart as her mother's emotions of anger and resentment were extracted. Although a little empty, Fae's conscience felt lighter than it had in her entire life. They held each other close for a while before Fae realized her mother's glowing form had begun to flicker. "I have to go, child," she whispered, her voice already distant. "My soul can finally be at peace." Fae wanted to argue. She'd only gotten a few minutes to be with her mother. Why could she have more? But looking into her mother's tired face, she didn't object, instead giving her mother one last farewell hug. "We'll meet again someday, my love," her mother said, her voice barely audible. "I love you." "I love you too," Fae whispered as her mother disappeared in her arms. The rain ceased and the clouds dispersed to leave a stunning sunset casting soft pinks and yellows across the barren landscape. "Are you okay? How do you feel?" he asked anxiously. But before he could worry further, he saw a bright smile curl Fae's lips as she turned to him jovially, exclaiming, "I feel free." Early morning dew sparkled in the light of a new dawn as Fae sat fiddling with the firefly pendant Spirit Seeker had given her. He'd bought it in one of the markets at a village a few weeks back, saying she should have something to remember her mother by since she didn't have the fireflies anymore. It had been 6 months since their ordeal in the Ice Kingdom, and since then they had been touring Pyria. Fae had always wanted to see more of the world, and now that her mother's mission had been fulfilled, she was ready for her own life, with Spirit Seeker by her side. Speaking of him, she looked over at his sleeping form still curled up in a nest of moss they had made to sleep in. He'd always been there for her, and she knew he always would. Someday she hoped to repay him, but for now she was happy to finally live freely. The end. And that will conclude Fae's story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was really fun to write, and I did leave a little bit of space, so if I wanted to write more about her in the future, I could probably tie it in. Anyways, it was really fun to write her story, and I really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys did too, and thank you guys for watching the video. Bye for now.